important. We will dismantle all criminal gangs and wind and incapacitate goons in the Republic of Kenya, so that Kenyans are free and feel safe. Their lives are safe. We must take care of the education sector. Education is the greatest equalizer. Our constitution, the right to education to every child. What Kibaki did to this country is one of his greatest legacy. We must restore fully free primary education by giving the right amount on time, but not practically. Money education is never released on time, and sometimes it's not released at all. Secondary school principals are living in fear because of auctioneers. Pending bills of debts incurred by the institutions, they have not been paid. So restore free primary education and free day secondary education, because it's important. Once we do that, we'll work on the university financing model by having consultations and public participation with all the stakeholders, the lecturers, the tutors, the parents, and the students. The things that William Ruto is promising, those are lies. There is no budgetary provision. And you know,
I know that it's a bill in Parliament.
No, there's nothing. You know, you don't promise things that are not budgeted. Yeah? Even if the bill passes in Parliament, where will the money come from? Unless he'll have to do supplementary budget. Already we are in deficit. You know, we are borrowing money even to do development. We are borrowing money even to pay salaries. We fix education. Again, we have to look at the curriculum. Yeah? What is happening, there's a lot of confusion. Yeah? There's a lot of confusion. The parents, the teachers, the students who don't understand what is happening. We'll have to fix the health sector. We had a working NHIS system. William Ruto came, put it aside, and brought an animal called SHA, whose very intention was an avenue for corruption. That system was brought at a cost of 104 billion shillings, and it's not working. Even in Olkalau, it has been switched off to punish the people of Olkalau because of the way they voted. We don't want that, where people can be punished because of exercising their democratic right. We must, through consulting health providers, both the public sector and the private sector, the medics, the nurses, the clinical officers, the owners of private hospitals, the faith-based hospitals by the Catholic Church, by PCA, and all others, we consult everybody so that we come up with a workable health intervention for the people of Kenya. Once we do that, we must restore the dignity of the payslip. This housing thing is unwanted by people of Kenya. There was no public participation. People do not think it's work of government to build houses.
But it was in your manifesto.
The work of houses, the work of government is to provide services, connect electricity, provide water, build roads, sewage, and drainage. It was there in the manifesto, but we thought it will be a voluntary exercise, those who want. But it's compulsory. Even yourself, you are taxed, and I don't know whether you need the house. So we are going to scrap the housing levy, and the houses that have already been constructed, if I am president, I'll allocate them to our police officers across the country so that they can live in dignity.
What about the people who've contributed?
The ones who have contributed, we'll see. There are many that are in the process. Those ones, because the election is next year, once they are complete, those ones we don't have to give them to anybody. Those ones we'll allocate them to our police officers and other people who are serving government. The extra ones we'll give them to the county governments to list them out and create revenue for the county government.
So back to my question. I'd asked about that proposed tertiary universal funding bill.
I am saying I have not interrogated that bill myself. I'll ask my members to share with me. Okay. I'm because I like being truthful. I have not had a look at it.
Okay.
But now that I interrogate it, and when we meet next time, I can give you my opinion.
Briefly, today, Law Society of Kenya were boycotting the courts due to issues they've raised around. How do we fix this state capture?
The three arms of government to work independently, them budget and allowing them to function. And I'm looking for very good legislators. My party wants quality. You know, what in my community are calling togege. We don't want that. People who are just after their stomach. The 13th Parliament is an embarrassment to this country. The Speaker himself is a youth winger for UDA. Even the courts have stopped him from being a youth winger. He's still insisting. You know, the Speaker of the National Assembly is supposed to moderate debate by not taking sides. This one is a youth winger. And I told him when we met in a funeral in Olkalau, yes, we want a parliament with good legislators who can make good laws, who can do proper representation, and who can do oversight. We want an independent judiciary. I don't want to prejudice my own case, but Kenyans were shocked that a court of law can say under Article 50, the right to fair hearing, that somebody did not get fair hearing, and then go ahead and say the decision that came out of a process that is not constitutional stands. This is constitutional absurdity. I don't want to go into it because it's the Court of Appeal. But these are some of the things that have really shocked the people of Kenya. Yeah. We have seen many cases where High Court has issued conservatory orders stopping government from certain things that are constitutional. And then the Court of Appeals lifts these orders and allows the government to continue. So there are many concerns, and I think the boycott that is going on is a good thing, so that the judges, all the way from Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, High Court, they can know Kenyans are not happy, and they can know that Kenyans are looking at them.
But some have questioned the approach of the boycott. It will be infringing on the rights of those who need to seek access to justice.
If the courts have impunity? What do you do? Sometimes it's just like this thing I talked about tourists. Ordinarily, that is not the right way to do. But if the government is the one causing insecurity, you have no other intervention, you go to the next available alternative. But I think the lawyers have made their case today. The judges know they are under scrutiny. And they are compromised by the state to give rulings in favor of the state or against certain people. I think the awareness that has been created by this boycott is good enough.
Fair enough. It's 4 years to the end of Vision 2030. Just recently, President William Ruto highlighted his aim to make Kenya a first world country. And of course, this plan transcends whichever government is in power. Their pillars: agricultural transformation, manufacturing, value addition. But interestingly, the biggest challenge is governance and fiscal sustainability, coupled with youth unemployment. How do you tackle those three issues?
To start with, William Ruto is just mocking Kenyans. When rogue police officers are killing Kenyans, who would be interested in investing in a country like that one that has become like Haiti? Who would be interested in investing in a country where corruption is the order of the day, where public assets are being sold without public participation, where, you know, pending bills have not been paid for the last 4 years? I mean, really, you know, he's just joking around with the people of Kenya. It's like this Singapore nonsense he had brought, and then he stopped it when people started laughing at him. I told people to laugh at him in meetings when he mentioned Singapore, because it's a joke. It's a serious joke. Youth unemployment is a serious challenge. And I agree with you that some people have taken advantage of the frustration of the youth to lull them into crime through Goonism, and it's unfortunate. We need to be very deliberate on how to deal with the youth implosion, the youth unemployment challenge, by agreeing that we must do import substitution. We must encourage investors to come and open factories here so that they can absorb our young people into employment and also start paying taxes and enhance the tax base. We must encourage agro-processing and value addition. We must create those opportunities. We must look for ways of financial inclusion so that we have affordable credit for our young people to start small businesses. These are things that we must do. And we must be very deliberate about it, because we cannot get a white-collar job for everybody, much as we want to encourage manufacturing and starting of agro-processing plants for value addition and all. We must also look at financial inclusion, where we can train our young people in how to start small businesses, and then they can also absorb their colleagues in those businesses.
Now, allow me to, because we're pressed of time,
Yes.
Rigathi, it would be improper to finish this conversation without sampling some of the feedback we've got, which is quite a lot. I'll try to pick one or two. I'll rush you through your answers, if you don't mind, due to time. I think I'll start with a question raised. Ask him if he can mend fences with Ruto to make peace. Are you willing to work with President William Ruto now or in the near future?
I don't know what he means by making peace, because Kenya is a democracy. I don't think not having competition is making peace. I'm willing to compete with William Ruto for democracy. The peace that we need in Kenya is the elimination of goons and police. That is the peace that we need. I don't think democracy and healthy competition is a lack of peace. I think democracy is healthy.
Someone is asking about this post that was previously held by Isaac Mwaura. Is it one of the casualties for Mount Kenya following the loss of the Olkalau by-election?
Well, probably yes. Probably because the ODM characters are saying the people of the mountain should be sacked. Probably, I don't know.
So it's
but he
punishment,
didn't do, I don't
promotion.
know, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But he also wasn't much. He wasn't doing much, and he wouldn't do much anyway, because on every topic, even the one who has come will not do much.
There's a touchy issue right here. Kindly ask Gachagua appearance of analyst Mwenda Mbijiwe during a joint. You and Ruto himself said that Mwenda would be released once you took power. What happened to that?
Yeah, it's true. We made that commitment because we believed that the fourth administration was responsible for his abduction. So when we came in, we followed that among the people who disappeared. Unfortunately, even before we could trace the disappearance of Mwenda, William Ruto allowed the DCI and needs to start also abducting people, and people started disappearing.
So is Mwenda Mbijiwe?
I tried to follow up personally because it's a commitment I gave people in Meru, and I gave up. By the time I left, I didn't
have. Say hi to Rigathi. Please ask him to speak for teachers and expose the Ruto government. The case of Albert Ojwang pains more when seen than heard. Lastly, we need a bill to strengthen devolution in our wards and counties by introducing, reviewing, and making ward fund. Comments on that?
Our teachers are in trouble. Their pay slips have been raided. There is a lot of tribalism in TSC. The new TSC secretary comes from Ruto's community. She's just employing people from his community and promoting people from his community to the exclusion of other teachers. There is a scheme to interfere with the SACCOs where teachers have put their savings. William Ruto has raided NSSF. He is planning to raid teachers must say no. And I want to commend teachers in our cloud. Most of them were recruited as presiding officers, and they were being approached to be given some money to compromise the election. And they say they cannot, because they cannot take 20,000 as a bribe, yet their pay slips are raided daily. I have every hope that our teachers will join us in creating change for this country, because they are serious stakeholders. They are people who play a very great role in the development of our human resource and human capital, and we must continuously speak for them. I spoke for them when SHA was not working because their union leaders had been compromised by William Ruto. I spoke very strongly that they were getting a road deal and something was done, and I'm told things are much better. I always speak for our teachers because I respect teachers, because I am a product of good education. And teachers are very important people.
Indeed, we can't argue with that. We haven't talked about fight against corruption, which is a sore issue in this country till date. We have independent agencies mandated to fight this monster called graft. Yet it's a drop in the ocean in
Zero.
terms of their efforts.
Zero.
So in 30 seconds, are you the man to fight?
Corruption can only be fought in this country from the top. Only when we have a president who is not interested in corruption can corruption end. Once the president is in corruption, it follows downwards. William Ruto has made State House a den of corruption. To start with, he bribes people openly. I heard Kindiki saying people should not be bribed and government people should not bribe people. He is the one doing it daily. William Ruto bribes teachers, he bribes churches, he bribes everybody. Corruption is in State House. All deals are done in State House. The Shah thing, 104 billion by William Ruto. E-citizen corruption. In fact, why, if Kenyan failed to remove William Ruto from this office, as head of this country, he'll ruin this country, he'll finish it completely. He's the most corrupt president ever since independence. And I am saying, from where I sit, the only way to fight corruption in this country is to get a president who will not partake corruption so that his measures can permeate downwards. But if the president is in it, the president today, he is head of procurement. He's the one who procures all government jobs. He's the one who decides who brings rice, who brings sugar, himself, who gets this contract, who gets that contract. And it has gone. In fact, what is happening now, his people around him, especially his tribesmen, they are saying it's injury time. They can see Ruto may not come back, so they are stealing left, right, and center, plundering everything. This country,
well, I know,
unless we